Ohayou gozaimasu! How are you all doing today? Today's video is going to be about another Japanese sort of tradition or holiday that they do here, which is known as Seijin no Hi, or Coming of Age Day. Coming of Age Day is when people in Japan turn 20, because 20 is the age of official adulthood in Japan. It's when they can buy tobacco, alcohol. You can have a license at 18, but you can only do those things after you turn 20. You can't rent any place and live on your own until after you're an official adult. And the age ceremony basically is the rites of passage to becoming an adult. Basically, what Japanese people will do during that day is they'll dress up in ceremonial clothing. Men will usually wear either hakama or they'll wear suits, and women will wear kimono. And they'll do all sorts of other things, such as style their hair, put on makeup. I spoke with somebody on footage today, and they actually said they were up since 4 in the morning just kind of doing their makeup. But typically what they do from that point is a lot of people coordinate together. They go to their school and then they have kind of like a ceremony of sorts. People will typically meet up and have rehearsals or something just so they can all perform on a stage. Then they kind of get recognized by their adults. Coming of Age Day is typically celebrated on the second Sunday of the year. So it can be anywhere between the 8th or the 15th. And Sunday is the day when people typically gather around, but the official holiday is on the Monday. Some people will, or some schools will coordinate to have the groups kind of meet together on a different date. But typically the Sunday, because most people are off, that's when they go to the school, because a lot of people at that time are either college students or they already have jobs. So they kind of coordinate and have it be on a Sunday. Coming of Age Day also means that people, so it's the transition between being a kid to being an adult. What people will do typically on this day is they'll be really ratchet. They'll do a lot of hoodlum things out in the streets, and they usually have gathering areas. At least as far as Okinawa, the areas that they mostly gather are Kokusai Street in Naha, Mihama American Village in Chatan, and somewhere in Nago. I believe it's Central Street in Nago, Chuomachi in Nago. I don't know any other areas where people, I think they used to gather in Koza area in Okinawa City, but I haven't seen anything there recently. And people will typically congregate there, they'll take their pictures, they'll do all sorts of other crazy little shenanigans. And as a result, Coming of Age Day is the day where most people get arrested in a year. More than Bonenkai season, which is the end of the year, where a lot of people are going out to forget the year parties, which is what Bonenkai means. More than that, Coming of Age Day is a day where the most criminal activity happens, and everybody in Japan knows that. So typically at these areas, you'll have a lot of police there, patrolling, making sure that the peace is kept. But as a result, you'll have a lot of arrests. People are typically expected to act this way, though, because they're kind of getting in their last bout of being children before they have to become responsible adults. So they're expected to act this way. They do a bunch of crazy other activities. When I went out today, there wasn't exactly a whole lot of crazy activity, but that could just be because of coronavirus. And there actually weren't that many people at Mihama. But I remember going a couple of years ago, and there was a lot more like scuffles. There's a lot more stuff like people spraying each other, putting on paint, like clapping as people are drinking copious amounts of alcohol, and just kind of other things. They'll decorate their bikes, they'll have motorcycles that go around in a line, they'll make loud noises with their cars. Again, it's this kind of time that people are acting crazy in there. And I'd take one day of people acting like that over people like that all the time, because typically people in Japan are, for the most part, very well behaved as far as being out in public. This is the one day where people kind of go all out and really enjoy themselves. I, unfortunately, never got to celebrate Coming of Age Day because I didn't go to Japanese school and I didn't even wear a hakama or anything, but I really would have wanted to. That would have been a lot of fun. Did do some things like color my hair some wacky colors, and I mean, I had my own Yankee phase actually in the 20s where I would do that kind of stuff. But so I'll show you some of the footage, and yeah. So usually everybody that does this coordinates, they're from the same school and they all dress the same, they wear the same kind of garbs, and then they go up there and take usually like a picture just to kind of celebrate. This is after they go to the school usually. Used to do those kind of games when I was in my 20s, but now being in my 30s, it's a little bit more difficult. Never actually ridden in a limousine before. I wish I could someday. Oi! ギロンからギロンからはい。ギロンからギロンからギロンからああ、そうか。おめでとうございます。これメイクするまでは時間がどのくらいかかったんですか？朝の4時から。朝の4時からですか？そうなんですか。For the coming of age day, they actually have an entire police bus here because they have a lot of people just kind of around the area to control at least kind of some of the craziness that's expected to happen here. So. これ毎年こんな感じですか？まあ大体こんなもんですね。あ、そうですか。The other main areas that people typically gather are 国際通り, Kokusai Street in Naha, and I believe somewhere in Nago as well. I think it's Chuomachi, Central Street in Nago area. And those are the only three areas I know where people typically gather for this kind of event. But they do get a little bit more crazy as the night goes on, but I'm not going to stick around for that. So that's all you'll see for today. Maybe some other year. Anyway, that's what my video is today, just to kind of showcase a little bit about Japanese culture and what people do on certain holidays. Japan has a lot of holidays, but this is one of the ones that I think is most memorable to me. If you want to see more content like this, please comment below, like this video, and if you really like my stuff, please consider subscribing. Thank you again for watching today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. ありがとうございました。また明日。